At first, doctors didn't suspect that a young woman could have a disease usually thought of as a problem for men.
But now a Florida woman has come back to her home state of Louisiana to get a second chance on life. As medical reporter Meg Farris explains.
Deborah Bork was only 28 when something went terribly wrong.
I woke up with shortness of breath, couldn't breathe, called an ambulance. Ambulance picked me up, brought me into the local emergency room. They did a chest x-ray, came back in, said, "Has anyone ever told you that you have an oversized heart?"
Part of the problem was genetics.
I have 5 brothers and sisters, and we are 6 for 6. My father died at the age of 42. His father before him died at 42. My grandfather on my mother's side was 56. My mother consequently died of it.
The other part was her lifestyle that included 2 things that destroy the heart: smoking and eating a bad diet.
No one ever sat down and said you shouldn't ought to be eating that boudin, those cracklings.
Panic set in. Would she ever see her only child graduate from high school?
I mean, when they walk in and tell you, "Ms. Bork, you've got 3 to 6 months to live. If you don't get a transplant, you better get your affairs in order." For about 8 months, it was really touch and go. I dropped down to about 104 pounds. I looked like death warmed over. I had to have assistance to go from the bedroom to the bathroom.
But over the years, many different medications kept her going. And now at 52, she has a second chance because of a new device that's being tested. It's called the Optimizer. Just like a pacemaker or a defibrillator, it's implanted under the skin with wires going to the heart. While a pacemaker helps the heart get into the right rhythm and the defibrillator shocks it back into rhythm if the electrical impulses fail, the Optimizer does something different. It gives the heart more electrical stimulation along with its natural stimulation, making the beat stronger and better.
So it is like, taking a piece of muscle that's weak and strengthening it by giving this electrical stimulation.
Ochnser cardiologist Dr. Freddie Abisambra says Deborah was in an advanced stage of heart failure, which can be deadly. And unfortunately, heart disease and therefore heart failure is very common here in Southeast Louisiana. And the doctors say it's because of our lifestyle, our diet. We eat way too much saturated fat, animal fat. We don't exercise enough. We smoke too much, and we drink way too much alcohol. The good thing about the Optimizer is that it never needs to be surgically removed and replaced. 3 times a week, Deborah puts on this jacket and recharges it. And she hopes by testing this new device, she'll extend her life and others fighting the same battle. Meg Farris, Eyewitness News, Medical Watch.
Adults in an advanced stage of heart failure could qualify for the study testing on the Optimizer. Doctors will also likely implant a defibrillator. Now, to see if you qualify for this, call 504-842-2372.
Grabbing a nap in the middle of the day might actually cut down on your risk of heart disease. The report